So today we are going to talk about the Bitcoin reserve, the crypto reserve, the thing that Donald Trump keeps talking about. And it's going to be a bit long video because we are going to have a discussion. I do apologize for that. Generally, you know that I make 10 videos a day, but each video I try to keep it 3 minutes or so. But this one is long because I have to explain things. I cannot keep it short. Anyway, the thing is that you need to understand that I have already discussed this thing and I have already tried and made an attempt to explain it in the simplest, shorter version, that it is not possible to have a crypto reserve, but I'm going to go into detail. We have already established this, that to establish a Bitcoin reserve or a crypto reserve, it is going to take Donald Trump at least 2 years. There is a video of mine where I have explained that how much time feds, judicial, Congress, everybody that is involved in the process is going to take, and is going to take at least 2 years, even on a fast track, for Donald Trump to have this kind of reserve. The shortcut that I mentioned over there was that if they go and sign up a contract with Coinbase, they use Coinbase. Coinbase is already established. That way they don't need to go out and establish everything from zero. You already have someone that is approved in USA and you're going to use them for the reserve. Then that's the shortcut. You can do that in 6 months. But if they are not using Coinbase, then you are basically dealing with a situation where you're developing something from scratch. Then 2 years it is. I've explained that in that video. I'm not going to touch on it. Let's talk about why it is not possible to have Bitcoin reserve or crypto reserve. And this is merely a political gimmick. It is something that they are using to keep voters happy and to keep the energy in the market overall well, because the most of the investors in crypto, they are idiots. They are all degenerates. They have no education whatsoever in finance. They are not people of stock market. In stock market, at least, people have the decency of going and looking at financial statements. Over here we are just dealing with monkeys, and as majority of the followers of Donald Trump and the vote bank, they all are like that. So it works in his favor. He's killing two birds with one stone. And don't get me wrong, I wanted Trump to win because it was going to benefit my own bags as well. But at the end of the day, it's all about everyone is for their own. So it was not about who wins which party. It was all about who is going to bring me money. It was more or less like that. But at the end of the day, he understands the game. So he is basically kicking on that aspect. He is talking about crypto, which has big audience, and all that audience is in love with him. So it works in his favor. The other aspect of that is that he comes out and he initially talks about Solana, XRP, and Cardano. These people have filled his pockets initially before he won. They have helped him in his campaign monetarily and non-monetarily through in-kind contributions. So you need to understand that him coming out and making these things, he's helping everyone that has helped him in the sales pitch. So if you look at it from the poor countries perspective, if we look at Bangladesh, Pakistan, or if you want to drag India into poverty as well, over there these kind of promises, they generally work like what? They come out and they promise you that, okay, they're going to give you better quality roads or new roads, you're going to have electricity in the villages, you're going to have jobs, those kind of promises. When you come to the West, supposedly the human being over here, they have evolved. That's why they don't have faith in God, because they are superior. And at the same time, they don't deal with those kind of problems. The governments have created newer problems for them. So something like a Bitcoin reserve or a crypto reserve is something that suits them. So it works better politically to talk about it, instead of saying that we are going to have better quality roads, even though roads in Canada, they all suck, but the government cannot use this as a sales pitch. Anyway, so that is the political angle, that he's benefiting everyone. He's keeping his voters happy by talking about crypto again and again. It's the same Donald Trump that 2-3 years ago used to say that crypto and Bitcoin and everything is a scam. Now he has changed his narrative 180 degrees. Now he's all of a sudden pro crypto, and there is no reason for it other than the political stance. Now, why is reserve not possible? Sorry, it looks like that I'm stretching the video for the sake of views. I just had to build the foundation and address the 2 points. So why is the crypto reserve not possible? The crypto reserve is not possible because the word reserve means you are talking about a safety net, you are talking about a safety bucket. You're trying to prepare for the rainy day. How do you prepare for rainy day? Do you get yourself something that has loads of holes in it, so when it rains it's going to shit on you, or you're going to something that is going to save you from the rainy day? Gold and other assets that are securities, they keep you safe because when the whole planet is shitting, they all are in financial crisis. Gold doesn't shit itself. You need to understand that when we talk about gold, in its whole life, the overall movement that it has done is 20-30%. So when it shits itself, it is 20-30%. You don't see crazy moves. And I'm talking about 20-30% in 20-30 years. I'm not talking about that it drops like that dramatically in a year. Gold is not Bitcoin. But when we talk about Bitcoin, Bitcoin is the most unstable crap out there. I do only crypto. Crypto is something that I love to an extreme. I mean, I make 10 videos a day. I have 3,300 videos made by me with my face in 2 years. There is no one out there on this planet who has made more videos than me. And soon I'm going to break a record with it once I reach 4,000 videos. But the thing is that I talk about crypto all the time, but I'm still telling you that this is nonsense when it comes to reserve. Because when it is financial crisis, your Bitcoin was at 100K, but when it is financial crisis, your Bitcoin is at $32,000 or below. How can you rely on something as your rainy day security that is going to drop 70-80% in its value? You were able to reserve $100 billion there, and in your bad day, you go there and you find out it's only $20 billion left. That's a very, very, very bad joke. And it is extremely unreliable. And it's not just Bitcoin, it's pretty much every other crypto. Unless they store their money in form of a stable coin, in form of USDT or USDC, then I understand they're storing it in form of a stable coin. So at least in the rainy day, it is going to be the same amount of money. But you don't do reserves in money. If they wanted to, they could have kept all of it in US dollar. Then what's the point of going after assets? The reason they go after asset, they want to go after something that is a bit more stable in contrast to the crypto. As long as Bitcoin is volatile, it is not going to be something that one can use even in a bull run. After the introduction of ETFs, still last year in the mega bull run in 2024, we saw 49K. So if you're talking about something that can drop still 30% in a bull run, imagine when you're dealing with recession or financial crisis, how unreliable this thing is. And historically, Bitcoin has proven this over and over again. It went from $20,000 to $3,000. That was 2017 peak to 2020 March, $3,000, and then later on it went to $69,000, and then again it crapped itself to $16,000, $17,000, $18,000. These are 80% of drops. This is highly unreliable. So to think that, I can assume, okay, the president is stupid, I understand, but the whole country is not stupid. No one is going to approve this thing. This is just a political thing. It is good to use it. Treat it more like the overall Bitcoin being considered to be the currency of the country. If you remember in 2021, everyone started saying that Bitcoin is our legal tender. El Salvador came and they approved it. Recently, they have totally removed it now. There was another country in Africa, they approved it as their legal tender. Legal tender is basically, you can treat it as your own currency, the currency of the country in simple English language. But if you look at it, other countries, everyone started saying that they are thinking of considering Bitcoin as their legal tender, and everyone was posting about it. This is the same gimmick, same bullshit that they are using right now when it comes to Bitcoin or crypto reserve. If you hear any songs, it's my cat singing. So the overall situation hasn't changed. I still firmly believe that this is more of a gimmick. On ground reality is that you cannot use this thing as a reserve. So there is no way that I could look at it and that I would think that, okay, this is one perspective from which, if we look at it, the reserve can work. It doesn't. Yes, if you say that, okay, they're going to buy at the bottom and then they're going to build the reserve from there, and they're not going to be like Michael Saylor, who is at peak of being stupid. He purchased Bitcoin initially at $8,000, but today his average buying price is $66,000 something. So his average price is going up, which means that in financial crisis, when it goes to $32,000, he will be at a loss of 50%. And then everyone who relied on him, they all are going to carry the guns to shoot him. So if you are not going to do something like that, you're only going to buy at the bottoms of the price, when the price is at the bottom, and then you are going to work on that reserve. That is the only way that I can look at it. But going and buying Bitcoin at $80,000, $100,000, this is extreme stupidity and it makes no sense. So personally, I believe that even if there is a reserve, it will take 2 years. And it makes no sense to have a reserve. But for the sake of argument, let's say there is reserve that will come after 2 years. Then only they can start buying at the prices that are low. And if it is nothing like this, then basically US is planning on its own collapse, a big, awesome financial collapse. Because you need to understand that if USA is going to have reserves in form of crypto, then US is not the only country that has Bitcoin. There are other countries that have hundreds of thousands of Bitcoins. They have it controlled at the government level. All those countries then to just have a overall damage to the country of United States at the time of turmoil, they can start selling, because if a country is already fucked up economically, let's say Russia has it, okay, they are not going to be concerned about making loss. All they want is that they want to destroy the reserve of USA. So all these countries need to do, Iran, China, and Russia, they just need to start selling the Bitcoin at the time when US plans to use that reserve and then fuck it up. You can't do these things with gold, but you can do everything like this with crypto. There is no way to look at it and think of it as a reserve. Like I said, reserve is your safety net. It's not a game where you sit and think that, okay, what is the most unreliable, high risk, most volatile asset in the world? I'm going to make that one as my reserve. So if you are not planning on doing that, then I think that it makes no sense. So please don't take this thing seriously. Treat it more like news. When Elon Musk, he comes out and he says, baby Doge, do. Think of it like that kind of stupid statement. Run with it, then get the hell out of it. And today is a living proof of it. Yesterday, Trump posted, market pumped, and today it crapped back exactly from where it pumped. So all this 50%, 40% move that happened in one day, all of that is gone in one day. You need to understand that you should treat these things just like that. That is exactly what smart money is doing. Smart money is smart because they don't fall for these idiocracies. And thank God, as this is not something that just I believe. For the first time, unlike when I declared financial crisis at the 5th of January and I posted that video and I told everyone that we have financial crisis in 2025, and then there was no one out there to say the same. This time, at least with the reserve, there are other analysts out there, because someone shared it in my community. It gave me hope that there are other people who can see through it, and it's very obvious. It's political, you can straightforward see through it. And the way Trump is making statements, it shows that how much he doesn't care. His initial post was about Solana, XRP, and Cardano. He didn't say anything about Ethereum and Bitcoin. It just shows that this is more of a tribute to thank his buddies. Again, talking about countries like Sri Lanka, Nepal, and any other country that you can think of, Nigeria, Kenya, anywhere. When these people, when they look, all political leaders are corrupt. When these corrupt leaders, they win, they need to return the favor. How do you return the favor? You give the contracts to your buddies, to your friends. That's what they did here in Ontario. There is this guy, something, Doug Ford. Doug Ford. He got elected again. I don't know what does he do. I have no idea. I just heard about him. They invested, I think, $75 million or $100 million or more in development of an app. It was during the time of COVID. It was an app that was going to help people get in and get out of Canada. So what they did is that they gave it to friends and family. You return the favors. They do it everywhere in the world. When you're elected, the contracts, everything that you do it for the people who have helped you to get through the elections, because elections, they're extremely expensive. You need to go on social media, run campaigns, spend money on advertisement, brainwash you people. I mean, right now there would be some people that would be sitting and angry, and they would be judging me. They would be looking at my skin color, they would be looking at my name, and they would be trying to find some kind of flaws in it, maybe looking at my background, to think of something just to find a way to attack me. Because when you're brainwashed and you are in love with something, then it is really hard to accept the otherwise. And they're spending billions of dollars in doing that. So be thankful for the fact that you are brainwashed. It took them good amount of time and money, and all that money, it comes from sponsors. So you need to return that, right? So it's a very, very old tactic. I feel sorry that I have to even sit here and explain this. But the reason that I'm explaining, because he's doing it a little different than what we have seen, and I think that's why people are missing out on it. So that's why I had to explain. Anyway, it's been already 17 minutes. I've explained both of the reasons for the Bitcoin reserve and the crypto reserve. Now on 7th of March, there's going to be this event in White House for the crypto summit. Don't have high expectations. It's all going to be bullish bullshit. On ground reality is zero. Please take it on surface value and just hear it from one ear and take it out from the other. Participate in the market just like if it's a pump and dump news, and don't treat it as a long-term investment plan just because Uncle Trump has sent something that he is going to come and implement. I know a lot of people believe that he has the capacity to do things magically. You need to understand that he has no interest in it whatsoever. He will not go and fight with all these entities just because he wants to approve this thing. He has way more headaches to deal with right now. He's fucking the overall economy of United States. USA was already in crisis. That's why I made that video. Now by firing more millions and millions of people, and inflation is not decreasing, it is increasing, and he has started tariff wars, and he is picking up fights with everything. He has only increased the speed of the crisis of the country. Of course, he can blame Biden for it once he realizes he fails. The only option now left with the country of USA is quantitative easing. By the time they do that, it will be official that United States is in financial crisis, because you do QE, the quantitative easing, only after you have exhausted all the options. The economy is fucked, and this is your last resort and the last thing that actually works, and then they do that. Anyway, I'll cover that in another video, but I just wanted to talk about this, and sorry for making the video long.